Okay, so let's start this video. I want to wish everyone a very happy new year. Let's hope it's not as plaguey as 2020. Obviously going into it, I think most of us are in tier 4. I know I am. So, you know, it's not over, but hopefully things are going to get better. And I think it's important to be hopeful. It's important to be positive. And I kind of wanted to take this time to talk about 2020 and perhaps what the future is going to be like. So 2020 weirdly has kind of been a good year for me. I started a new job in January and I'm enjoying it a lot, even though I didn't actually get to spend much physical time with my co-workers. We've been talking a lot on Teams, everyone gets along, the work is interesting, so there's that. There's been a few new influences in my life this year, mostly on YouTube, interestingly. I want to shout out Yes Theory. At the start of the year I was watching a lot of their videos, and honestly it's not about saying yes to everything, it's about opening yourselves up to new experiences and kind of allowing yourself to do different things. And you know, sometimes you're just saying yes to cathartic things like expressing your emotions to people and all sorts of interesting concepts. Kind of around the time I was getting into Yes Theory was, February time? Just before obviously all this hit. And it's funny because I booked a week off, had all these ideas in my head, and obviously just before I kind of got this notification about my tattoo artist who did my snake. She was doing some to raise money for this kid's funeral, unfortunately. It was friends of hers. They lost their child, and one of the tattoos really spoke to me. It was kind of the words "be kind" and this floral heart. So I said yes. I booked it, I went down. It was on the Sunday, kind of before my annual leave, and another crazy thing happened. There was like free tickets to the History tour, which again was this other amazing experience that I think, because I went on my own, and I think before I probably would have been quite nervous about it. I mean, I've been to cons on my own, and I do try and put myself out there, but I'm an introvert. I think sometimes people don't realise, because I can be very confident and I can be outgoing, but it's exhausting for me. But I had this voice in my head and I kind of just went for it. I talked to this guy I didn't know, and you know, it didn't lead anywhere, but I had that experience. And it was just this crazy week where I was happy, I tried different things, I took some time for myself, I balanced it out, and I am getting better at that. As an introvert, you're kind of always drawing the line, because I don't want to just never leave the house. I do want to experience things, but my god, it's exhausting, and I have to get better at putting myself out there. I like to think I am, and you know, I have some very close friends that I talk to regularly, and one of the things that's kind of helped me get out there and talk more is the geeky stuff that I'm into, which will lead into something that I'm going to talk about later. The other channel that probably much later in the year kind of inspired me was Unisanis. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's probably a bit late for you. But for those in the know, it was a very special YouTube channel from Markiplier and Crank Gameplays, where again, it's kind of similar to the Yes Theory. It's about doing new things and making the most of the life you have, because you know, tomorrow's not guaranteed, and you do have to make the most of the time you have here, wherever that's spending time with your family, your friends, doing something crazy, or even just staying at home and reading a book. You have to take time for yourself. You have to make sure that you're okay and you're looking after your mental health, your physical health, all that kind of stuff. And it was yeah, it was an experience when it ended. It seems very strange to grieve for a YouTube channel, but I did. And again, I have this feeling of I want that sense of community for myself, and it's very difficult to put myself out there one-on-one. This leads me to the third influence. One of my friends has his YouTube channel called Hydro Collectibles, and I highly suggest you check it out. It's a great channel, and it was so much fun. He had me on, I was talking about my favourite comic books, my favourite characters, my favourite stories, and it's the kind of thing where you can just go off, because geek's gotta geek, you know? And I feel like I want that for myself. I want to build something where me and my friends, maybe new friends, there are people I know, and there's all these different aspects of the geek community that perhaps aren't as well known. You know, I feel like when I talk to people that kind of aren't in this world, they have a very preconceived notion of what geeks are. You know, people think like, you know, well, how do you go to cons? Like, you're, you know, oh my god, you must get mobbed. And I'm like, no, there's trust me, there's a ton of attractive women that are into this geeky stuff. Don't believe, like, some weird media that you watched years ago. There's a lot of attractive men in cosplay. And as well, like, it's not just attractive cosplayers that do well. Like, people will go, oh, well, you know, unless you're a woman in a bikini, oh, there's no point. And it's like, well, no, there are so many talented cosplayers out there, and a lot of the time it's not even about that. It's just, it's going out and having a conversation with someone. Like, I met a girl who is dressed as, let me get this right, she was dressed as the, oh my god, sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Okay, I met this girl at a con, and she was dressed as the Winter Widow, which is kind of like an alternate Natasha character becoming the Winter Soldier. And she recognised my Sharon Carter costume, and it was just, one, incredible to be recognised, because not everyone recognises that character, and two, she was just a wonderful person, and I'm really glad that I got to know her, and we're still in contact. And I just want to create something for myself that's kind of along those lines, because I think it is sometimes difficult when you go to cons. Like, you want to get to know people, because I go on my own all the time, and people assume I'm very confident, and I kind of am, but it's also, yeah, it would be nice to have more people that I can be like, oh yeah, let's go meet that person. And it does happen sometimes, but sometimes I'm too shy. I'll recognise people, and I follow them on Instagram, and I'm like, oh god, should I say hi? I'm like, they probably won't know me, and, you know, I get nervous. I think everyone gets nervous. I don't know, maybe this will build a community, maybe it will just be me rambling about how much I love Batman and Harley Quinn. Hopefully, I will be able to ramble about those things with some friends of mine. But there, I just wanted to give some background and shout out to some channels that kind of inspired me through this year, kept me going. Yeah, it's been a weird year. It's not been amazing, you know, it's been bad for a lot of people. I feel blessed that I still have my job, I still have most of my family and friends. You know, I lost someone, but, you know, I lost one person compared to some people that it's been a really bad year. And I hope next year is better for everyone. I hope that we can start going to conventions again. But even if we can't, I hope that I can still share that feeling with some people. you know, talking about stuff we've bought at cons, costumes we've worn, things we do for cosplay, you know, the hours of crafting and the hours of physical training as well. Like, some of the people I know are in the best shape of their lives and they do it so they can cosplay these characters. And, you know, that's not to say anyone that's not, you know, you can be a string bean and cosplay Captain America. It's not about that physicality, it's about doing what you love. And if you love that character, that costume's gonna look amazing. But it, you know, I do think it's interesting that we have that side of things. And some people, that's really been motivating for them. And like, that's changed their lives. And I don't know. I do think there's something powerful about nerd culture and just unashamedly loving something. You know, whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, Dungeons and Dragons, video games, YouTubers. You know, I don't think I've ever been so involved in the YouTube community. And the fan art that people create, it's amazing. And like how supportive people are of each other. You know, God, I guess I've been inspired. I like talking, which probably doesn't seem believable because I know I have things that come across as nervous, but a lot of the time it's my brain works too fast for my mouth, so this will be interesting. Again, don't have the best setup. This is literally an old camera, don't have any special microphones or anything. I have no idea how to edit videos, so this will be interesting. I don't know. Hopefully this is something. I want to create something. After I die, I want my legacy to be something, even if it's 50 people on the internet that become friends and support each other. That is something. You know, I don't know. It's been a funny year. It's put a lot of thoughts in my head. And let's see what happens. I hope everyone's well. And I hope everyone has a great 2021. And if shit happens, let's get through it. Let's support each other. Let's be kind to each other. You know, I think it's easier said than done. Everyone has emotions, everyone gets angry. And if we channel that anger and create something that's better, that's great. But if sometimes we just vent and all we do is spread negativity and that doesn't help anyone. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, I feel like that kind of went a bit preachy, but yeah, that's a bit off brand. Sorry. Let's just admire Cap instead. That was from my old team in Savings. You'll probably see a lot of him in these videos. Anyway, that's all from me. Bye everyone. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed me babbling, and think about hitting that subscribe button. Alright, thanks everyone, bye!